Want to do Who of the Week?
Yeah, please. The Who'd Win of the Week this week is Sherlock Holmes versus Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Detective versus detective.
Detective v. Detective, baby.
Pet detective versus detective.
Now, I would argue... Now, Sherlock Holmes, the thing that's so famous about Sherlock Holmes is, like, he notices everything, right? He's like, oh, you have a piece of ash on your collar. That means you smoke Marlboro Red cigarettes, and they only sell those
lungs.
cigarettes. Sure, there's that. There's, like, the RDJ Sherlock that's, like...
Yeah. No, that's who I'm going. I'm going RDJ.
RDJ, okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Ace Ventura, I would argue, also... incredibly observant. Thank you, Matthew. Also incredibly observant.
I would agree.
And I know he's goofy and silly and stuff. Sherlock Holmes definitely carries himself. He's a little more stoic. But as far as detective skills go,
I mean,
I think Ace might have him beat.
If we're,
I don't know. That's a lot to say, but
that's wrong. Maybe not wrong, but I don't think you can make that claim. Here's what I'll say is, Sherlock Holmes does have a bit more Ace Ventura in him than people allow themselves to realize.
Go on.
Like, when he's in that room, because we're talking about Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock Holmes.
Got it.
So, like, when he's in that room and he's, like, shooting his gun and he teaches the flies how to circle with his little ukulele thing.
Right.
Like, he's doing weird, obscure shit.
Yeah.
Or, like, when he jumps out the window and he disguises himself by, like, stealing the hat. Like, that stuff's very Ace Ventura-esque.
You're right.
But Ace Ventura's not a killer. And I'm not saying Sherlock's a killer. Like, I'm not saying he's killing people, but he's a bit more of a killer. Like, physically. And, like, I don't, and also because he's a good detective, Ace Ventura's lighthearted, dumb-witted, like goofy tricks that he pulls that like distract other people that allow him to get away with things wouldn't work on Sherlock. And that's Ace Ventura's real only advantage to like an average Joe is that not only is he like observant and stuff like that, but he can also clown it up and it passes over on people who aren't that observant. It's not going to pass on Sherlock.
Yeah.
And physically, I think Sherlock Holmes would beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, physically, I mean, especially if we're talking about the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock.
When he's like, break left rib, chop throat. But he uses good terminology. Chop.
No, I think he says
lower
chop
thorax.
Throat. I think he says chop
fracture
throat.
cartilage.
Fracture cartilage.
I don't fucking know, dude. You know what I mean? He does all that, and he's like, and then at the end, he's like, time 7 seconds, recovery 6 to 8 weeks, physical, years mental, or what, you know what I mean? Like, he does the whole breakdown, and then it goes full speed. I'm spitting everywhere, and then the guy's just out, done, boom.
Ace Ventura, though, not for nothing, he does have this connection with animals, where if he calls them to his aid, they will come. Now,
but Sherlock Holmes would just blow dart the dog, and it would.
That's a good point.
It would just be it's a neurotoxin, but it's not permanent. He'll wake up.
I was thinking
it
more
just
of
slows
like
his heart rate down.
I was thinking more of like toucans and things. Like, how would Sherlock Holmes beat out
a
bunch of birds? I guess that answers that question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So end of the day,
it's Sherlock.
Sherlock.
I do think we were able to shine good light on Ace Ventura from a detective perspective, but physically, Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes is going to beat the wheels off of Ace Ventura.
True, but you got to show Ace some respect because at the end of the day, he does get results.